Hey everyone, Gio here from Fandom United. Welcome back to the channel. And I think I've held off long enough. I'm finally going to see this video from James Gunn, who's going to introduce a new era in DC live action, the DCU Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters. I've already known for some time the titles of these movies, and my friends have been hitting me up all week talking to me about it. And yeah, I just ready to find out these titles and context and see firsthand what the energy is going to be like with someone like James Gunn, who I am a fan of as a filmmaker, but now he's this co-CEO of DC Studios and what he's going to do for this new era. So, time to listen in. Here it is.
Hey everybody, I'm James Gunn. I'm the co-CEO of DC Studios. So as many of you know, DC has been disconnected in film and television for a long time. And it's one of, our jobs, mine and Peter's, is to come in and make sure the DCU is connected in film, television, gaming, and animation. That the characters are consistent, played by the same actors, and it works within one story. And if something is outside of that, like Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker or Teen Titans Go, that it is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds, outside of the mainstream DCU continuity. Now, Peter and I have gotten pretty lucky in terms of the 4 projects that are coming out over the next year. First, we have Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Shazam has always been off kind of in his own part of the DCU, so he connects very well. That moves directly into The Flash, a fantastic movie that I really love that resets the entire DC universe. Then to move into Blue Beetle, a fantastic film about a kid who's a marvelous part of the DCU, and then into Aquaman 2, which leads directly into our next few projects, which I'm going to tell you about now. So, Peter and I, along with a group of very talented writers, have started to map out an 8 to 10 year plan of what DC Studios will be in film, television, and gaming. This first chapter is called Gods and Monsters. Now, what I'm about to tell you is a part of the first chapter. It's not the entire first chapter. The first project is Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos is an animated series. I've written all the episodes. Something we're going to do that's a little bit different at DC is we're going to have characters move into animation, out of animation, usually having the same actor play their voice as who plays them in live action. The next project up is Waller. This is a story of Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis. Viola Davis is going to team up with members of Team Peacemaker, and this is a story that's been created by Crystal Henry, who did Watchmen, and Jeremy Carver, who created the Doom Patrol. It is a fantastic story that's out of this world, and I can't wait for people to see it.
It's a smart move.
Okay, next up is the big one, the true beginning of the DCU. This is called Superman Legacy. This is being written by me. I'm in the middle of it. I'm having a great time doing it. And Superman will be released into theaters July 11th, 2025. Okay, the next thing is a big premiere HBO television series called Lanterns. This is a story of a couple of Green Lanterns, John Stewart and Hal Jordan, and we have a few other Lanterns peppered in there, but this is really a terrestrial-based TV show, which is almost like True Detective with a couple of Green Lanterns who are space cops watching over Precinct Earth. In it, they discover a terrifying mystery that ties into our larger story of the DCU. Next is a big movie called The Authority. The Authority is a passion project of mine. It's based on the marvelous Wildstorm characters we are now bringing into the DCU and will interact with all of our primary DCU characters. The Authority are a group of superheroes who think the world is broken and they want to fix it by any means necessary. I think it's a very different look at superheroes. We're doing a television series called Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost is the story of Paradise Island, usually known as Themyscira, which is the birthplace of Wonder Woman. It's almost like Game of Thrones with Westeros, but with all of the inhabitants of Paradise Island. The introduction of the DCU's Batman is The Brave and the Bold. The Brave and the Bold is the story of Batman and his actual son, Damian Wayne. This is based on Grant Morrison's great comic book run. Damian Wayne is my favorite Robin. He's a little assassin who Batman tries to get in line. And so this is the story of the two of them and the beginning of sort of the Bat family in the DCU. Next up is a TV series
All
called Booster
right.
Gold. Booster Gold is one of comics' really popular cult heroes. He is a fascinating guy. He's a loser from the future who uses future technology to come back to present day and become a superhero so that people will love him. It is basically the superhero story of imposter syndrome on an HBO Max series. One of my favorite comic book series from last year was Tom King's run on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And so we're going to turn that into a big science fiction epic film. Now, Superman is a guy who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents, whereas Supergirl in this story, she is a character who was raised on a chunk of Krypton. She watched everybody around her perish in some terrible way, so she's a much more jaded character. And that brings me to Swamp Thing, the last thing we're going to talk about. A
James
very dark horror
Mangold.
story in the origins of the monster who is Swamp Thing. And although it's totally outside of the rest of the DCU, it will still feed into the rest of the stories. Anyway, those are the stories that I can tell you about right now. I've loved the DC characters since I was a child. They're incredibly important to me. I knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something very different. One of the things that's very important for me in all of these movies and TV series is that the director's vision and the vision of the writers and all of the creators is unique and something special. Storytelling is always king. That's all that matters to us. And I want to be true to those stories. I want to be true to you guys and really give you something different than you've ever seen before. Anyway, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you watching. I hope this was exciting for you because it's really exciting for me. And I can't wait to start to dive into these stories with you guys on this grand adventure. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, that wasn't too fancy. No theatrics. Okay. He didn't invite everyone to the El Capitan Theater for a chapter one presentation and whatnot. He's busy at work, so he just shot a quick video. He lived up to his promise of delivering news before the end of January, which I mean, he waited till the very last day. But you know what? Take your time. Take your time. Don't rush things. Don't rush the universe because you're watching what's happening across the bay and what they're doing. Okay, just stay focused. Um, wow. So okay, the fact that he wants to go animation and video games and live action all be connected, having the actors play and their characters, whether it's voicing them or acting in live action, that's pretty bold. That's a pretty bold move right there, and again, like it's separating yourself from what audiences have already seen. Okay, trying not to do carbon copies, and I'm all for that. I love that he talked about filmmakers, and letting them tell the storytelling. Um, Obviously, that's something that a lot of filmmakers in the prior regimes did not have an opportunity to do, or had an opportunity, but then later had it robbed from them. If you're going to introduce Batman, something like The Brave and the Bold is a very interesting choice and one that it just makes sense. Okay, you got Robert Pattinson's Batman. We're about to see Michael Keaton's Batman, Ben Affleck's Batman, and so do we really need like another Batman that's like more of the same, or can you do something different, like Brave and the Bold, where you introduce Bat Family and have Robin? The fact that we're going to see Robin for the first time in, I don't know, it's been 25 years, 26 years since Batman and Robin. I mean, that's a long, long time. And I love that James Gunn gave homework reading material for those who want to get a sense of where these movies are going. That's something that I'm absolutely going to be doing. And I said this to a friend the other day, but if Ben Affleck did that one, wow. I mean, talk about just it being cathartic, just Ben Affleck, he never got to direct his movie. His vision got heavily tampered with Justice League, but now he gets to come back and still be involved in DC because he still loves superheroes, he still loves comic book movies, and do something pretty cool and fun. This is what I was talking about with James Gunn coming in and bringing filmmakers, because he's not going to direct everything, bringing filmmakers in and letting them see the vision, the overall vision, but in their little pocket they get to tell their story. I'm all for that. Paradise Lost. I don't see Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman coming back, especially for that project. I'm hearing that she's going to be a producer on the series, but I think if you're gonna go younger Superman, younger Batman, you're gonna go younger Wonder Woman, okay? And that leads to the overall big question: is this a full-on reboot? Is this a soft reboot? What is happening here? Well, I guess there are conversations happening that Ezra Miller's Flash could stick around. Jason Momoa's Aquaman is gonna be a trilogy. He's gonna stick around. Obviously, Viola Davis is back as Amanda Waller, and I love that they're giving Waller um, her own series, because she's kind of become this, you know, character who just pops up in different movies and has these glorified cameos. And, that would make sense for a character like Waller, but give her more because the casting is so perfect. Speaking of perfect casting, what's going to happen with Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn? I would have to imagine if Jason Momoa's Aquaman and Ezra Miller's Flash stay, along with Viola Davis's Amanda Waller, I would think that um, Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, John Cena's Peacemaker, they're going to be around to stay. And so I'm looking at this as not just a new thing, but it's going to be a soft reboot with pre-existing characters remaining in the universe. Okay, this means we're probably going to say goodbye to Ben Affleck's Batman and the Flash movie, despite him shooting a cameo in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So a lot of thoughts right now. It's nice to see DC with a plan. I'm gonna follow it along. I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay, I know I wear this shirt and I have the poster, and I'm a big fan of the Snyderverse. But whatever happens, I was a fan of DC even before the Snyderverse. Okay, the Dark Knight trilogy is arguably the best trilogy, or one of the best trilogies in cinema history. And I'm always gonna follow DC. I find myself being more attracted to those types of storytelling, that world, those characters. Speaking of Elseworlds, I love it. I've been saying that for a long time. I think a lot of DC fans have been saying that for a long time. Uh Multiverse, embrace it. Elseworlds, tell more than just whatever story is in your sacred timeline, okay? Like, be bold, get out there and continue to innovate and, do new things so that way the comic book genre stays fresh. And so yeah, those are my initial thoughts. I mean, I have a lot more I could be talking, but I'm gonna cut this short. Geo here from Fandom United. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I'm sorry I've been away for a little bit, dealing with mental health stuff and some health concerns, but I appreciate you guys always sticking around and being a subscriber. Thank you so much. And until the next video, you guys take care.